I'm here with Adam and Hunter
Knudtvig.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so these guys, I wandered upon them on my Instagram Explore page, was super intrigued. Instead of me telling it, we're going to just get to their story. It's super intriguing. Definitely bleeds the love for motocross. Okay, so at 16, you had Hunter.
Yep.
I'm assuming it was a surprise.
Yeah, it was that. But yeah, total accident. I was almost 17. I was 16 and 11 months when he was born.
Mm-hmm.
So dropped out of school, worked a $10 an hour job at Mako just as a detailer. I ended up getting full custody when he was 4.
Okay.
So I got full custody, and his mom moved to Illinois, and I've had him full time since he was basically 6.
Okay, so how did the motocross enter the picture?
I raced dirt bikes for about 6 years when I was younger, from like 8 to 14.
Uh-huh.
And then my dad pulled the rug when I was 14, just clean slate, never rode again. Like one day it was just that fast.
Okay.
When he was 4, I got him on a little KTM Adventure Junior, and we were just doing the grass track stuff, riding fields. We'd done a little bit of motocross stuff at this little track that was at the fairgrounds. But basically, when he turned 5, he had been riding this little Junior Adventure.
Yeah, I told him I wanted a faster bike.
He said he wanted to go faster. That Junior Adventure was gutless turd, air cooled. So I got him a Cobra Junior 50, and he rode it like one time and scared the crap out of him. He said, no way.
Yeah.
And so I sold it right then and there, got rid of it. I got him a quad, and I got him a TTR 50.
Hunter, do you remember when you got on the Cobra?
Yes.
You remember what went through your head when it went, yeah?
It was so different because I've been riding that KTM and it was just gutless.
Uh-huh.
It just terrified me.
But yeah, we threw him on a TTR 50.
We were like trail riding every 6 months.
I told him when he was 5, I said, hey, look, if you don't want to race dirt bikes right now, you don't want to ride a race bike, we're not doing the racing thing. We'll go do something else. So we did for a couple of years. We went trail riding, a couple times a month, or the off-road stuff. We did like the Razor, trails and stuff. He turned 7, and he was just beating the crap out of his TTR 50, jumping it, and he looked like a monster on this little bike. He said he wanted a KTM again, and I went and got him a big senior KTM 50.
Oh, nice. So, Hunter, do you remember the TTR, how friendly it was? Just like 4-stroke.
Yeah, it was a fun little trail bike, but I wanted to get into racing.
Okay, but then you also had a quad?
I don't remember the quad.
You don't
remember that's
it?
Probably good that you don't remember the quad.
As soon as he chose to ride the quad and not the dirt bike every day, and we were renting this RV spot on 5 acres, and he'd ride in the field, and he'd say, I don't want to ride the dirt bike, I don't want to ride the dirt bike. And as soon as he started doing that, I sold the quad.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. He only had it for like 3 months, maybe rode it like 4 to 5 times.
Yeah. A dad buying a kid a quad is child abuse.
I got him a 3-wheeler a few years ago.
It was fun.
Never posted the video. I have all the footage, but
you did?
it was
it
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was
We picked up a little $600 110 and just went and beat the crap out of it.
Okay, so when you're 7, you started racing?
Yeah.
KTM
pretty
senior.
much.
Yeah, almost 8, actually. We did this 2 little outdoor races at a local track, and they're both mud races. And so both times the bike blew up. We blew the clutch 1 race and blew the top end the 2nd race. Those were the first 2 racing experiences ever, and then we went straight to arena cross.
Okay.
Did a whole arena cross series, and then in Washington, after arena cross, there's like a 3-month gap where there's just no racing going on because it's so rainy. Yeah. So, and when I was racing as a kid, I always remembered all the fast kids got to go to SoCal. They all rode, as soon as in Washington, all the fast kids would leave Washington and go ride SoCal all winter. And so as soon as arena cross ended, I was like, let's go. We packed it up and we went to Elsinore. Literally the weekend that arena cross ended. And then like a week later after Elsinore, we got back and I was like, hey, let's go find a race down there. And I just looked up the closest race was in Oatfield, Central California, and it was a Loretta's area qualifier. But we didn't care. We
didn't want to go to Loretta.
Yeah, we weren't trying to go to Loretta. It was just a race, and then it accidentally went viral. And so that's what got us into this whole crazy moto game.
Okay, how long ago was that then?
That was March of 22.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. And it blew up. We drove the car, and we had been rolling all, like, without posting or anything. We were doing the Geo thing, our first Geo, doing the arena cross, all arena cross series and stuff like that. And then it just kind of, people were taking pictures, and it was blowing up on the forums and stuff, and we weren't even posting.
Yeah.
But when we went to Oatfield, like, it really blew up. Matt Walker shared it, and Jared McNeil shared it. It's just this picture of us at a dealership getting parts before we went down there.
But Matt Walker said if we make it to Loretta's, he'll let us go out there and train for a month
for free
at his compound for free.
The whole Loretta's camp program at Moto X for free. Okay. As soon as literally we got it got a couple million views, and they were like, everyone chipped in and said, if you make it a ticket, we'll pay for your trip to Loretta's, basically.
Nice.
So right then in March, at his first real outdoor race ever, we just dropped everything, went full-time training mode, and got him a ticket.
So you've been to Loretta's?
Yeah.
Once, yeah.
Wow, it's gnarly, huh?
It is gnarly.
Yeah.
So being from Pacific Northwest, you guys are used to ruts.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'm not that good at it.
me being SoCal boy, when I went to Loretta's in the 35 class or whatever, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like Jeff Emig told me, go ride Paris. That's the readiest track. Dude, nothing like it.
No.
I fell 9 times in my first practice of the week. But so what was Loretta's like for you, Hunter?
I didn't do too well, but the track was gnarly.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he did well for being his first time. And
yeah. And only riding for a
whole
year.
bunch of kids that year got this flu that was going around. And he was one of those kids.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just nervous and giving me some bull crap. And you know what I mean? Freaking throwing up all on the start line. And then I got the flu like 2 days later that he had. And I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like, it was gnarly. But he ended up with a moto. He did 13th in one.
That's good.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, overall, not great, like 26th or something like that, but almost in the top 10 on one of the motos, and I think he rode pretty good.
Yeah.
You just said, I decided I was working too much and missing his childhood. Like, elaborate on that a little bit for me.
Yeah, so, like, it was like basically the way that I view this whole situation is like most people that have kids, in the general majority, they already have their mortgage going and their career path and all that stuff set up for them, right? And I didn't have any career path until he was 6 is when I started a little boat detail business. And but me trying to do a startup in the prime years of his childhood and having to do that 5 years of grind before it really picks up, you know what I mean? And I was like, I can do this later. Like, I'll only be 32 and he'll be 16. He'll probably be out doing his own thing at 15 or whatever anyway. So it's like, you know, when I'm 31 years old, I still have plenty of time to go start up a business and put the 5 years of grind in and work my life away to get the money if I need to, type of thing. And I was like, you know, let's just go live cheaper and enjoy the time while we can. Yeah, well, and the thing is, it almost got forced because to go to Loretta's, we couldn't afford the 3 months rent at our place while we were going to Georgia and training and doing Loretta's thing. So I had to make the call. It's like, we stay here and we don't go to Loretta's, or we have to let go of the place we were renting. It was just an RV spot in Woodinville. Basically, we let that go, and we parked it was a F-350 with an 8'70" struck bed camper on it with this trailer that we made that held all of our stuff on it, and we parked it at our local motocross track. And so when we got back from Loretta's, that's all we had. That was every single thing we had, was a truck and a trailer. Wow. And then headed straight to SoCal.
I mean, do you feel like you're missing out on any regular kid stuff, or do you love this motocross?
No, I don't want to, like, soccer. I don't want to do any of those normal kid stuff.
What about, like, going to movies with your buddies or playing video games?
I did go to the movies for a while with a lot of my friends when we were staying at this local track for like 9 months or whatever.
Back at that track that we stay at in Washington, he's got a good group of people up there, and then like he has buddies, like we'll be at Loretta's in a couple weeks, and he's got I got a bunch of friends up there. Yeah, his best friends down there. He'll be there, and I think that, you know, we're in a period right now where it's kind of hard, but once, you know, we have a plan that as soon as we get this next trip done, we're going to get like 5 acres or 10 or as much as we could possibly afford of raw land out in the East Coast. And the goal is to start a big compound of this. It's not like a show up and pay. It's just paid for by, hopefully, you know, social media money. And so all of his friends could come out and they could stay as long as they want, ride as long as they want, type of thing. Get tracks out there and stuff like that. That's the goal here, is to build a community that will give him a more normal childhood with all his friends and stuff. So we just got to get there.
Okay, the first question in my head is like, how are you funding all this right now?
Yeah, so we, like I said, we pretty much spent the last it's been 2.5 years we've been on the road. And full time with no, permanent residence of any sort. I mean, I lived a standard normal life before this, so I had a lot of stuff to sell off. We sold off the boat, we sold off the RZR, sold off the truck, sold off everything. All my dirt. I sold my dirt. I got a brand new 250. I sold off for got 10 grand out of that. We had jet skis. We sold off. I mean, we just sold everything. Yeah. Last summer, a year ago, we went back to Washington. I hustled a bunch of cars. We made like 15 grand just buying and selling like 15 cars in like 3 months. We've been rolling off that money up until probably about 2 months ago. It finally dried up. That's when we just got lucky again, and the Instagram blew up.
Yeah.
So these last 2 months, we've actually gotten a lot of help from sponsors and just, you know, donations and stuff like that too. And we don't ever ask for anything. We just post our travels, and people ask all the time, what's your Venmo, what's your PayPal type of thing. So
Dude, that's cool.
I mean,
Crowdfunding.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of people that have their different views of, you know, how much money they think we have. But it's like, we really do roll like $100 at a time. Like, there's $100 to the name, and it's enough to go ride and then get back, and we'll find another $100 type of thing. Yeah, just live each day, one day at a time.
Okay, as a parent,
Yeah.
what are you doing about his school or his education?
He's got an online program that he does on his. He's got a little tablet, and
4
then we
hours a
have.
day.
He has a 3rd grade and a 4th grade, like big book that we work out of every day and stuff like that. So.
Okay, Hunter, what do you think about school? Is it a pain in the butt, or
Yeah.
do you realize that's important for your
Yeah,
future?
I do.
So,
I just don't enjoy doing it. But I know it will help when I'm older.
yeah.
I pulled him from school before we actually went crazy on the moto thing. He was that era where before 1st grade even started, they pulled all the kids out of school for COVID.
Yeah.
And so he went back in 3rd grade.
That's when we were starting to ride a bunch.
It was
And
right
we
when
just
starting,
kept
but
missing a bunch.
I didn't pull him because of riding, really, though. It was because I just felt so weird with all the parents are locked out of the school. All the doors are locked. You can't go in. And it just felt really weird. And then all the other weird stuff going on in Seattle with the schools and what they're teaching. And it's really bad what's going on in the schools right now.
Yeah. They really love the month of June up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible.
How long have you been down here in SoCal? Like,
We got down here this year right at the end of March, beginning of April.
how have I not seen you at the track? I can't believe that.
We hit it so hard. He didn't get his ticket this year to Loretta's, and I think it was mainly we didn't get any training in. His wrist was broken up until the 2nd area qualifier we did, and those were last minute ones. So like a week later we had to go to regionals. So we literally had to sit out a whole 2-month period with his broken wrist.
When all these other kids were out training every day.
Yeah, we got no
at
training this year
facilities.
for it, so we just got thrown right in regionals. But during that time, like the last 2 months, we've been going like probably riding 4 days on, 1 day off. Every single day, just doing Glen Helen, Paris, Fox, Cahuilla, and then we've been going out to Sunfair a whole bunch. That Sunfair 42, have you heard about
it's cool.
it?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, we've been riding all the tracks every single day, though, just cycling around, going back to Johnson Valley every day in between. So it's
Johnson Valley,
yeah,
high desert.
yep,
Where are you staying there? Are you,
just right out BLM land.
you're camping in your car?
No, we have the bus. Have you seen the bus?
No, I've seen. Is that another car converted into a trailer?
Yes, yeah, that's so, and it's actually we're in the middle right now. Like yesterday, we got the whole power system in it. We got solar and lithium batteries, and we're gonna do a water system with a little outdoor shower, and it's gonna be, and we got a 12-volt cooler, big IceCo one, but we're setting that up to go live out of it for 3 months right now. We leave in like 4 days.
So tell me about the bus then.
Yeah, so the bus, when we came down here a year and a half ago for the winter, we drove down in the truck and the camper, and I blew up the rear end. And so the truck had been a nightmare every 100 miles down here. It was like blew a tranny line, just overheating, just kept breaking on us. So as soon as we got to Santa Clarita and the rear end blew up, I sold the truck on the side of the road, gave the camper away for free.
No way.
Yeah. We were on the side of the freeway. He luckily was at his mom's during this. We had just dropped him off the day before the truck blew up. We dropped him off in San Diego to fly out to Illinois, and then I got to kind of deal with all this while he was gone, luckily. But the truck's rear end blew up. I sold the truck, gave the camper away for free on the side of the highway, and we have our trailer there with everything, and the Geo trailer. And the cops are pestering us, and the code patrol and stuff like that, whatever it was. And we found that our city bus, it was a raw blank city bus, 35 foot in San Francisco. So I took the Geo down to San Francisco, left my girlfriend with all the dogs with 2 trailers, nothing to tow either of them, on the side of the highway. And it took me 15 hours to drive to San Francisco and back. Bought the bus for $3,000, and we pulled it back up, and we moved straight into this empty city bus, and we spent the next 7 months out in Johnson Valley building it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we built the whole thing out, and now it's beautiful. I mean, it's missing some things, like it doesn't have functional AC and all that crap, but it's got water, it's got a shower, and it looks really nice.
Yeah.
So it gets us
So
through.
you just parked in BLM land, so that's free, right?
Yep, we did 7 months out there 2 years ago, and we've been out there for 4 months now.
Do you ever get worried about
Theft
people
and-
breaking in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have a camera set up, and we try. I mean, there has been times where we'll leave it for 3 or 4 or 5 hours at a time with the camera set up, but typically she's always there, or if she leaves, I'm there. So
Okay, so your girlfriend's on this adventure with you.
yes, yeah, full time, yeah.
What are her thoughts about it?
Oh, I don't know. I think she's enjoys it for the most part.
And the bus is drivable then?
Yeah, a 5.9 Cummins, rear diesel pusher, and
Okay.
and it's a massive setup. I got a 6-foot deck off the back of it and a 2-foot deck on the front, and we have every single thing we own packed into this thing. Like it's got 4 rooms. I have a little editing studio in the back. He's got a room in front of that, and then our bedroom and living room.
Cool. All right, tell me about the Geo Metro.
Yeah, so that Geo trailer, the Metro, this is our 3rd one.
Okay.
The first one got hit and ran out here last year and a half ago. Somebody jumped the highway and we T-boned them. I got a second one last year, and then the dogs knocked the e-brake off, and it rolled into a truck and totaled the back end of it. So this is Geo number 3, and it's finally just getting put together right now with some cool stuff. We just got the bed put in the back of it. The trailer, I had that idea 2 years ago, and I went and got this free Geo Metro that had no motor in it, and I built the whole thing for free. I got all this free scrap metal, and I hacked the front of it off and just started welding stuff together, and me and him have went and did a couple of 2-month trips out of it, and it's been to 27 states and 50,000 miles on that trailer.
Wow.
So
what is it about the Geo Metro in particular that you like?
So many things, and I'm glad that you brought this up, because we get like 20 messages a week saying, we got to get you in a truck. Let us help you get a truck. How about a Sprinter van? How about a moto van? And those Geo Metros, they're 3 cylinders with 0 power. So they have like 35 horsepower to the wheels, I think. Like it's like a ride to 250, towing 4,500 pounds.
Yeah.
And I can hold that thing to the floor, wide open, 5,000 RPMs for 10 hours, and it won't get less than 28 miles a gallon.
No way.
I never let off. I hold it literally pinned in 4th gear at freaking whatever RPM it is, and it never gets below 28. So that's the thing about having no power, though. It's like everyone's like, yeah, you could get a Honda Civic or something that has 100 horsepower, but you're just going to use all that extra power and get 12 miles to the gallon in it.
Yeah.
You know, so, but they're non-interference motors, so I can run it till the timing belt snaps, and it doesn't matter. And everything's so light. Like I can do the tranny. It's like a 30-pound tranny. I can do it in an hour. I've done axles on the side of the road, trannies on the side of the road. I mean, anything on the side of the road. And everything's so cheap for it, too, because it's so small.
Yeah.
But they're almost bulletproof. I overheat the crap out of them all the time. I've had, just beat them, and they never have failed me.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Hunter, without looking at your dad, have you driven it?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, when we were out in the desert last year, I let him just take the Geo out around the desert. He'd go just rally that thing around all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, going from point A to point B, when Dad's getting tired, he doesn't say, hey, you take over.
No.
Okay, you just turn in the desert.
Yeah. No, not on the road yet.
Yeah.
But.
Well, see, a motocrosser instinctively has these instincts about acceleration, braking, line choice.
Yeah.
So you'll fly through your driver's test
Yeah.
when it comes time, I think.
Yeah, no, I let him drive as much as I can, though, in the desert out there. And he gets.
Yeah, I actually drove 3 different cars.
Yeah. So when we were out here 2 years ago, he had a Miata because I want to get him into drifting. That's like a big thing I want to get him into. It's hard, at 10. But I built him a Miata. We put a little mini bucket seat in it, and I extended the pedals up. And he got to do just a couple of donuts before something in the top end went. And then that's when the Geo got totaled and we sold it to get us home. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you follow Cole Seeley then?
I think we do follow him. I'm not super familiar.
Yeah, so Cole's he's a former factory Honda pro motocrosser, but he also loves drifting.
Yeah.
And he's got like all kinds of...
I think it's a blast. It's a super fun, like laid back, cool sport to be a part of. That's no competition really involved. It's just people out having fun.
Yeah. How far do you want to go with this motocross thing? Is it just a fun experience with your dad right now, or are you like,
I think I want to go pro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how do you feel you are as a rider? Like what's your riding strengths and what do you need to work on?
I'm not that good at ruts. That's the big issue. These kids are really good at ruts. And my entry speed is a little low.
I've watched some of the videos, like the GoPros, you rip.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are your strengths?
What do you mean?
What are your strengths as a racer?
Rider. I'm good at jumping. I'm pretty good at jumping.
He's a sender for sure.
Yeah.
If I ride the track a lot, I'm pretty good at it. Like I can hit the corners pretty fast.
Yeah.
If I ride the track all the time.
He's got a lot of bike control too.
Yeah.
He can really control the thing and figure out what he needs to do with brake tops and stuff like that. So
okay, I've seen a lot of footage of you on a KX65.
Yes,
I think.
I love that thing.
So tell me about that. What?
Because I just got those gases from Bruno Rossani.
Mm-hmm.
And I rode it. It's just so different because it's like on my KX, I'm riding it in, what would it be? High gear. And then I have to shift down like 30 times to hit this corner because it just like bogs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But these gases, I like them.
Yeah.
I think once I get really comfortable, I think I'll rip.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I like them.
That's another thing. I saw Dayton Briggs reposted your story, or a story from the kid that gave you the
Yeah.
bikes.
Yeah.
What is the story on that? You met this kid at Mammoth?
No,
We didn't even meet them
I've
out
never
there.
met them before. It was just right out of the blue, and
They
he
saw
didn't
us.
tell me.
Yeah, they saw us out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so their caption said, like, we saw,
Yeah.
Hunter, and his bike wasn't fast enough for him
Yeah.
to do well.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make you feel, Hunter?
I didn't make that an excuse a lot, but I feel like their bikes aren't that much faster than me. Like, you
He
can
doesn't know though because we haven't got one running right
yeah.
yet.
Okay.
But I've also never rode a stock KTM or whatever.
But, I mean, how does it make you feel that another kid was like, I want to help Hunter out?
I think that was so sick that they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find out?
He's totally surprised me. He didn't
Just
like,
at the track?
yeah, like he didn't tell me.
Yeah. I just brought him to where we were meeting them, and Bruno told him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. All right,
Yeah,
Dad, you tell
totally
me about this then. This Bruno, what's his last name?
Bersani.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't know them. We had known of them, and when we were at Mammoth, Hunter and a couple other times, Hunter's always like, "You gotta go look at this kid's bike." Like he was literally like telling me, "I have to go look at his bike at Mammoth because it was so sick." And it's this full Cerakoted black. Everything is black, murdered. So much work into these bikes. That's crazy. But yeah, so he's always loved the kids' bikes, and they have wild, crazy modifications done to these things. But yeah, the dad messaged me on Instagram and just said, like, hey, like Bruno's moving up to 85s. Loretta's is his very last race, and we want to give you these 2 bikes, and I'll meet you at Paris tomorrow. And I was like, no way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, were you like, that's sick, but where am I going to put him?
Yes. No, more of like it wasn't that. It's like we've had a lot of people. Not that any have actually took action on it, but we have a lot of people that ask me like, hey, do you want to switch to KTM? Do you want to ride a Yamaha? I'll sell you a Yamaha really cheap, or if we get you on a KTM, would you like that? And I'm like, typically I always say no. I'm always saying like, look, like the contingency program is really great on the Cowies. Like he won $500 at Pac West last couple months ago. And so the Cowie contingency pays more than double what KTM pays per race. And on top of that, you can use it like cash. It's on a MasterCard Visa, not some dealership only parts thing. And then I always tell people too, it's like, I always worry that if we go to KTM that it's like, it might make him a better rider, but it might make him not a better rider because I won't be able to keep him on the bike. As soon as it breaks and I can't afford the repair bill and we're down and we're not riding. Yeah. That's where I get worried a lot. And I'm feeling that kind of right now is like, I'm worried like if we go full KTM route, what happens when we can't afford the $2,000 motor rebuild, and I don't have a spare one, and it's just like, and the other problem is with the KTMs is the parts are always back ordered. Because a lot of the big moto dads, the elite people, they go out and buy 25 top ends at the beginning of the season, 25 clutches, 25 everything that they know what they need, and so it just everything's always back ordered the things you need, and it's like the Cowie isn't like that because no one wants the parts, and the parts have never changed.
Yeah,
it's the same parts from '99. So I don't know. There's a lot of fears, and then we have to run race gas now. It's $75 a day instead of $25 a day.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that are going to go into this, and I have to learn how to work on them. And we've developed a really good program with the KXs. I mean, we've been working on them for 2 years now, and just kind of building an arsenal of 3 bikes. I think we've got 3 bikes and a couple bikes in boxes, 4 motors. So we were kind of dialed on him, but I think that he definitely will be able to ride a KTM faster, and it will help him. But yeah.
All right, Hunter, how many bikes do you have? And tell me about it.
Oh, gosh. I got quite a lot right now. So I have the 2 gases we just got. I have 3 KX65s, and only one of them work. And then I have my pit bike.
And he has bikes stuffed at his grandma's house that are broken too.
Yeah.
He's got his e-bike, KTM e-bike, with a broken motor shaft and a Z50.
Yeah, Z50.
Wow. Okay, your dad is obviously an amazing mechanic. How much mechanical skills do you have? Do you help on the bikes?
A little bit. I help on the car. I mean,
yeah. What did you build last night?
I built the bed pretty much, the whole bed frame, and I did all the cutting and stuff. So,
yeah, all the different saws and the nail gun and the screw gun.
Nice. So this is like real world education, not just books.
Yeah. And I tried, and like he painted the whole car himself completely, from start to finish. He sanded it, masked it, and sprayed the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I, trying to keep that going, just teaching him all the different things, But
okay, where did the name Janky Productions come from?
I think that I've had set aside this email and stuff like that probably 6 years ago. I've known that I want to do social media for a long time. Like, it's always been a dream that I want to do that, because I know that that's the most ideal life path to spend time with your family and to be able to give back and just, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just the ideal lifestyle that in my brain. So I've been planning it for a long time, and I don't know where the name came up with, but what we're doing isn't new. I mean, I've been doing this kind of crazy stuff for a long time. Like, what I did drifting a lot when I was a kid, when I was like 16 through 20, and I had these cars that were just freaking. I had Mustangs with Skyline front ends and radiators sticking through the hood, and just all sorts of hacked together stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I came up with that name Janky Productions a long time ago, and never made it a thing, but I had it in my brain for a long time.
Yeah. Right. I think right now you guys have 30,000 followers.
We just hit 30,000.
How fast did it grow?
Really fast.
Really fast.
And so we were stuck at 2,500 for a year and a half, because we went 0 to 2,500 in like 6 weeks when we first started this. And then Facebook, which is also Instagram, restricted our accounts for a year and a half.
Why?
I can only assume it was because I posted this picture of him on top of the Geo and the Geo trailer right in front of a giant Let's Go Brandon semi.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. I was out in like Oklahoma or something like that, and it was a sick photo. But right after that, it was July of 22. They restricted our Facebook and our Instagram. We didn't gain one follower, so everyone could see our stuff that we posted that already followed us. But anybody that shared it, it would not be recommended to anyone.
Yeah, I think some of it might have to do with him being a kid, right? Yeah. Because I know that on our YouTube. But if I write like 6-year-old Billy lives on the edge.
Yeah.
Boom, restricted for no ads and this and that.
Really?
So it's always this, there's one thing you have to check. It's like, does this involve children and put them in danger or this and that? So, I mean, that could have been it, but a very big possibility is the Let's Go Brandon thing. Because we all know how that censorship works.
Yeah, it was right during that period in 2022, and all that controversy was going around, or whatever, re-election and stuff like that, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, no, so that was tough. It was hard. I mean, so we kept doing what we were doing. We were out racing out of the Geo, but we didn't post any of it. We did Washougal all summer that year, and I don't know, a whole bunch of riding and racing, but we just didn't post anything really. There's too much work to not, get any views or any.
How did you figure out you were unblocked or unbanned?
We literally got like a month ago a notification on Facebook that says your account is now recommendable again. They actually made us recommendable again. So and we actually just checked the box to monetize Facebook. So we're in that 2-week review period right now, but we've hit all the marks, and now we're just getting approved for it. So eventually we'll start making money off the social media.
Has the big title on the car always been there, or is that something new?
On the very first Geo we had, we went to like a Office Depot and printed out all the letters and cut them out, and then we taped it on, rattle canned it. But it was the same as that, exactly the same. Yeah. So it's been a thing.
So I have a good friend. He started off with this older Mercedes with a bumper rack for his CR450 and his daughter's. I think she had an XR50 at the time, right? Yeah. And it's funny because people would take pictures of him on the freeway, like, look at that, and take pictures. So I'm sure you encountered the same. Yeah. But now he's in like a 70s or 80s Dodge van with a white camper top on it that he bought for $800. Nice. So he's just like you. His hands are always greasy from working on the thing and everything. But he's a good friend, and his daughter is one of my little pals. But, I enjoy seeing the passion that drives them. As well as you guys. So.
And it's like, regardless of what you're driving, the way I just view it is like, you can drive any type of vehicle for a couple $1,000. You know what I mean? You can get a truck for a couple $1,000, or a car, or a motorhome, or whatever you want, in a couple $1,000 range. It's like that extra $80,000 that you spend to have these nice stuff. It's like, that's all money that could be put towards more riding, more time with your family, more. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Until you have so much, but it's like, we've figured out that we can go to New York for $350. And we're going, driving. In 4 days. Well, we're going to do Loretta's, but then we're going straight to Unadilla. We're gonna go to the Unadilla, and then he's gonna race the amateur days at Budds Creek and Ironman.
Yeah.
So that'll be a sick trip. And but the goal is like, in my brain I was like, if we just get to New York, then we're forced to make our way back through all the states, and you know what I mean. Just got to get over there.
There's a 50 states goal.
Yeah.
How many have you checked off?
A lot of states, but we've probably only rode or raced in maybe like 15 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been to probably 30.
Wow.
But I want to actually go experience each one of the states. And now with a follower basis, it'll be pretty easy to, like, as we're getting close to someone's state, say, hey, we're going to be here. What should we go do? And then we'll get, you know, the invite to the different races, different tracks, different cool compounds, whatnot. And it'll be easy to set up basically a map just to travel and follow and stuff like that. Do something in every state, hit all the major cities, stuff like that.
Hunter, what's your favorite state, and what's been your favorite track to ride at?
Well, I think my favorite state to ride in is Cali, because it's like all the best tracks. But wait, what was your question?
What about your favorite state, just to like travel?
My favorite
through or be in?
state?
Like, what's the coolest place to be?
I want to be in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you love about Texas?
I don't know. I just like, I have a bunch of friends out there, and it seems pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Texas.
The big state.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big state. Do you have a cowboy hat that you put on when you go there?
Nope.
We'll get him some boots.
Boots and a cowboy hat. When you have this 50 state goal, like, when are you hoping to accomplish this by, or like?
So yeah, we leave in 4 days, 5 days, something like that. As soon as I get this trailer wrapped up, pretty much, and I think we're gonna go from New York to Washington, and we have to be in Washington at the beginning of October. So it'll probably be from, I guess, July 15th to maybe like November 15th total. We'll be back in 4 months or something like that, 3.5 months.
Wow. Are you ever gonna come back to base yourself out of Johnson Valley again?
No, well, yes, probably. The bus is getting parked like 5 miles from where we're at right now. Last night we found one of our followers that has like a couple acres, and he said, bring the bus by and we can store it there. So that's where we're going to be storing the bus, which is right across the street from where we're at right now. So yeah, we'll end up back there initially when we come back to Cali, and then, I don't know, hopefully find some kind of, training program down here to go stay at for a couple months or something. I'm not sure. Something like that down in here in SoCal. We'll spend all winter down here this year.
Okay, well, when you're back here, as I said, we put on the Swap Moto Race Series.
Yeah.
You let me know. I will personally comp all your entries and take care of you, so you get some gate drops, do whatever you want.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, when you're in California, I'd love to hang out and ride and all that stuff.
Do you guys run? When does your race series start or end? Or?
Well, I think we do like 28 races a year, but we also have this event called the Mini Major. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah, so we went to Mini Major 2022 at the last race they ever ran at State Fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We went to that Mini Major event and had a ton of fun. That was probably the funnest race he's ever done.
Yeah, it's funny. That race was just, we were at one of our regular races one day at Kauai.
Yeah.
And our old race director was like, Don, come here, look. We looked at the vet track, and the 50 class was out there, and it was packed. Looked like the rush hour freeway. And he goes, we need to do a race just for kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's brilliant, So like our first one we did at Milestone, we had like jumpy houses and stuff. It was crazy.
Sick.
But the Mini Major is it's branched into 3. We do one here, and we do one in Alabama at Monster Mountain.
Yep.
And then I'm not sure where the third one is this year. Last year we had one in Texas. I saw that.
You guys do like a East Coast, West Coast, and then a shootout in the middle.
Yeah, but I know that the Texas one was kind of tough for us last year with turnout.
You didn't get a lot of people that wanted to make the middle drive.
Well, no, I've been told that like Texas promoters are very protective or something. But I know we had one in Illinois last year.
Yeah.
But if you end up coming to one of those, you let me know, and we'll take care of you.
Sweet.
But so you've had a lot of people reaching out.
Yes.
Have you picked up some sponsors to this, or people helping out?
Yeah. So ASV reached out, gave us some levers, and then Throttle Syndicate.
Ryan Persley.
Yes.
He's one of my best friends in the world.
Really hooked us up. Gave us a full ride on the graphics and stuff like that, so that was awesome. And then as far as like continued sponsorship stuff goes, not just like here's a seat cover, or here's a set of socks, or here's a hat. Like I don't think there's really been any like here's $100 or whatever. I don't think we've got any like real sponsorship deals like that. We've been after kind of dealing with all these people that want to send stuff, I've kind of realized like I really do want to hold off on every sponsor we take on that requires, you know, the tags in the every post and the shout outs in the videos, and it's like I feel like it kind of degrades our content if we're shouting somebody out 20 times every single week in every post, and then it's a lot of work for us too, and it's like, so now I really want to hold off for like the really important ones that, you know, and we're growing fast, so it's like I don't want to just take the first gear sponsor that comes and that just says, oh, we'll give you a couple sets a year or whatever. So now I'm trying to be very picky and careful with what we take on, because it's a lot on our plate that we already have so much going on, trying to edit and film and keep it all going. So
are you completely self-taught on all the video editing?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And I've put my 500 hours in just researching, you know, watching all the Mr. Beast interviews and, you know, everything I could ever learn about just how social media works and stuff like that. So the hardest part is just staying confident in it and keep posting. And we fell off before and just stopped posting, and just got to stay on top of it. And I think we're doing pretty good right now. So
how about you? Are you pretty versed with the whole social media thing? I mean,
No,
not
really.
He's protecting you, keeping you off of it. Huh?
No, he's very versed. He makes all his own TikToks. He has his own TikTok. I told him when he gets to 4,000, I'll link it in the Instagram. But he makes TikToks and stuff like that, and he does a lot of his own videos and stuff.
You know, it's funny, when we started Swap Moto Live, it was out of necessity because I was at Transworld Motocross for 19 years. You know, got to recreate this. So like with Instagram, I started Instagram for Transworld Motocross before my corporate bosses even knew what it was, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, then there became a social media director and all this nonsense. So they basically took it from me to manage it and this and that. And then when we got fired, they locked me out of it. It's realistic, it's mine.
Yeah.
I started with my own iCloud email.
That's crazy.
But it's dead now.
Yeah.
But when we started Swap Moto Live, I'm like, oh man, okay, we got to do new Instagram, a new Facebook, a new YouTube. So for YouTube, we used my personal one that I kind of had for like soccer videos for my daughter. But when it came to TikTok, I created it. I'm like, I couldn't figure out how to use it. And I went into my daughter's room and I said, hey, how do I use this? She goes, Dad, you don't need TikTok. You're not going to do these dances and stuff. And so at the time, I'm like, okay, so we didn't.
Yeah.
But that's one app I'm completely ignorant about.
I think it's one of the easiest apps to make money on right now.
Really?
Yeah. Even
with motocross content, not doing some
like Dave
dumb
Briggs,
dance?
we went and met him and trained with him and talked to him on the phone a few times, and he's a month off, and he's got like decent following, but as far as views go, I mean, pretty comparable to what our videos do with a lot less followers. He TikTok. And the requirements are pretty easy, and they're pretty straightforward with it. Like Instagram is not straightforward with paying, monetization at all.
Dude, it's funny because for a while they wanted you to promote Reels, so they're paying for Reels. So then on my personal Instagram, I've got work, and I started goofing around making Reels, and I'd getting these deposits. I'm like, whoa! And then once Reels took off, they just clipped the money. And now I think, are they paying for lives now?
Yeah, you can get like gifts on live and some subscriptions and stuff like that, but it's really just, it's not like a pay-per-view type of thing, you know what I mean? That, I'm hoping for on Facebook and obviously YouTube and stuff like that. So it's a lot harder with the guaranteed money on Instagram. We don't
so
make
maybe I should figure
Instagram.
out this TikTok thing.
Yeah, TikTok, it's you got to have 10,000, and then the watch out minutes are pretty easy, and it's called the Creator Fund. And I mean, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money on TikTok right now.
Is that how you're making your most social media income right now?
We have to this day made almost $0 off of any of the social platforms.
Really?
Yeah. This month we'll have $32 coming from Facebook, so that'll be our first check over $10 or something like that. But we actually in 2022, when we just had 2,500 followers, we did make like $75 or something one month on Reels, but we're not in that bonus program anymore. So. But soon we're so close. We're so close on YouTube. We're so close on TikTok, and we made check the box on Facebook, like I said. So it's just waiting now, waiting. Yeah.
Where did you learn your mechanical skills? Like show the camera your hands.
Yeah,
that is a mechanic, right? But I mean, you're working on cars. You're working on motorcycles. It's funny because a 4-stroke, not so much, but a 2-stroke, top end.
Yeah.
Split the cases. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I cannot work on a mountain bike and car shit for the most part,
Yeah.
like puzzles me or scares me, and
Yeah.
like house stuff, right? Like no, but you seem to know everything.
I didn't. When I was 16, I was huge into cars. Like I said, for 10 to 20, I had like a couple hundred cars. That was my full-time gig, was just drift cars at 240s. I had 30 240s at a time, basically, and I was always just pulling motors and building drift cars and just all sorts of crazy stuff. I lived out of my shop. I had a 2,000 square foot shop in Seattle, and yeah, I just did car stuff constantly, learning, and it was all self-taught. Just figure it out, and I just loved cars that whole time. I didn't have a dirt bike back again until I was 22, and then I got my first another bike when I was 22. So I had an 8-year period I didn't ride for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you miss riding?
I do. Yeah, I have a pit bike right now. I love riding it, but the last time I tried to go riding with him at Sun Fair, I put it on the roof, and that's how the windshield got broken on the Geo. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah. So
when's the last time you rode a full size bike?
It's been 2 years.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh okay. No. Wish let me do one lap on a 1989 YZ250 at Kikuya. No, at LACR like a few weeks ago. I did one lap. That bike, I don't know, didn't run right, and the front brake didn't work, and the clutch was too tight. I don't know. It was weird, but yeah. Besides that, I haven't gone riding any big bikes. I love riding though.
Yeah. Well, when we cross paths, sometime in the future, we'll get you on a bike.
I'm hoping to get my pit bike dialed in with like a Daytona 190 motor eventually, so I can actually keep up with him on a 65. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I love my pit bike's pretty sweet. It's just an old Pitster Pro.
But it's clapped.
But it's got the Mazzocchi forks and stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah. Okay, so you're departing here in a few days, and you're going from our office here to Twisted Development.
Yep.
To
drop off those bikes and
the gases, or
yeah, both of them, and pray to God that they don't freaking kill us with a bill.
Yeah.
I don't, because when we went in there, we went and got race gas a few weeks ago or a week ago, and I asked them, I was like, I need you guys to make these things run, because I've put my time in. I've tried. I've jetted them up and down every which way I possibly can, and the black bikes are ripping right now power wise, but just has a huge gap from like 8 to half throttle that does nothing. So it just snaps on, and the white bike, I'm not sure what's wrong with it, but it's just flat. It has no power. So I did my best, and when we went in there, I was like, hey, I need you guys to just dial these bikes in for us, and they knew who we were, obviously, when they saw the car, and then kind of gave us this like, you don't have enough money to bring your bikes here type of thing. So I don't know how it's going to go, but he made it very clear. It's $150 an hour for this and that and this and that. So I was like, I didn't ask. I wanted you to fix them, make them run right. So we'll see. We'll see what they hit us with, but we need to get them running ASAP because we're leaving in 4 days. So
yeah,
we'll see. He didn't even really agree to work on both, but we're bringing both. He only agreed to one.
So you mentioned you get a lot of people messaging you, hey, I want to contribute in this and that.
Yeah.
Like, is that a pretty regular thing?
Yeah. It really depends on the video too, because some videos, they'll do 500,000 views and get no support, and then some videos will do 100,000 and get 50 people that want to, pitch off $20 or whatever it is. I don't know. So it really just, I guess, depends on how the video makes people feel or what it was about or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty common. And enough to ride once a day. Enough to make it to the next day, basically every day. Yeah.
How does it feel being a celebrity in social media?
I like when people come up to me and like say, hey, I watch your videos, and try to take pictures with me. I think it's super sick.
Yeah.
But
who are some of your heroes or people that you look up to?
I don't really know. It's like, let me think.
Who's your favorite pro racer?
Kenny.
Ken Roczen.
I like Kenny, yeah.
What is it about Kenny you like? His adversities he's come back from? Or?
Yeah, I like that he rides a Suzuki and he rips on it too, but I like his style too.
Yeah, he's got good stuff.
Yeah.
Who do you, and what number is on your bike?
471.
Tell me the story about 471.
4 because I started when I was 4. 7 because I started when I was 7.
Racing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 1 because I want to be number 1.
Ah, that's a good story.
I made him pick a meaningful number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Hunter, is there anything that you want people to know, or like any shout outs or?
No, not really.
Nothing? What's that hat? Swak?
Squawk.
He sponsored our Mammoth race.
Yeah, our whole Mammoth.
Okay, is
He
that
paid for our Mammoth trip.
is that
pretty
a
sick.
person's company or is
Yeah,
that
it's a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Squawk, and it's a sister company with Kranich. So,
Okay.
yeah, he makes pretty sick hats and hoodies and.
Okay, so you said you're holding out on not just jumping towards the first sponsorship offer. Like, what do you ride and race in? Like, tell me about your kit. And is it a bunch of different stuff? Or,
What do you mean?
like,
What gear you wear? Oh yeah.
Oh, I wore 60 helmets, factory speed gear. I don't know the name of my knee pads. I wore all kinds of goggles.
Yeah, just whatever goggles
Yeah.
he gets sent
Yeah.
or we
Yeah.
have or. And he's been wearing Garnet boots. but I
Garnet
think
boots
we're
for a long time.
Switching to Alpenstars right now. Somebody's sending him a set.
yeah.
So
What? I've never heard of the Gear brand. Is that one of those
it's a
new
custom?
one.
startup. They
Yeah.
they actually just reached out and said they want to send us a couple sets, and I was like, okay. And then we said we loved it, and they asked if we wanted to do a continued sponsorship. I was like, not right now. We don't want to sign any contracts. Or the biggest thing too is with the gear stuff is we've taken on some stuff like that a few years ago, and it's like, okay, they send us a set of gear, we wear it till it has holes in it, and then we don't have money to buy another set. We have 20 sets of gear that people just give us to us at the track, all the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go out and buy a $100 set of gear from you guys because you sponsor us one set when I have 20 more sets. We don't and typically just wouldn't even have the money to do so anyway. So that's where it causes a conflict where it's like, oh, I signed a contract to only wear your gear, but now I can't afford to buy your gear. And it's happened enough times to where I don't want to get into any contracts with anybody unless I know they're going to send 20 sets a year. And, we're not going to be in that situation where we feel weird running whatever we have to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay, on the first video I keep referencing, Hunter, one of the things is like, oh, we eat top ramen every night, and then you had the
yeah.
packages falling out.
Yeah.
Off of memory, that's Maruchan chicken
Yes,
flavor,
Russian
right?
chicken flavor.
Okay, how often do you eat ramen?
I used to eat it a lot, but I don't eat it as much.
Okay. Is that your favorite flavor, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? Like, where do you go eat? Like, what's the typical...
If we go out like once a week, we go to Applebee's and we do happy hour.
Uh-huh.
Me, him, and her can all eat for like $30.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, off the happy hour menu. So he
What-
does the boneless spicy wings.
Ah, okay. What about cooking? You guys cooking that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do like lots of chicken and the cheapest sirloins or whatever steak we could find for $5 a pound. Lots of sausage too. We'll do sausage.
Yeah.
We
Can
stop
you
by
cook?
no bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
can
cooks.
cook.
What do you cook?
I can cook eggs, sausage. On a good day, I can cook pancakes.
Oh.
Bacon.
Does it flip?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Hash browns. What else? I think that might be it.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to hold you up because I want you to be able to get down to Twisted, but thanks for coming in. And
Yeah, thanks
I'm
for
like
having
so
us.
stoked, and I want to share your story. And
Yeah.
So if you're listening, watching, Instagram, it's at Janky Productions. Is there
Yeah.
an underscore there?
No underscore and with a Z.
Oh, Janky Productions with a Z.
Yep.
How about the other social media?
All the same.
It's all the
one of them.
same.
Yep, across all four.
Okay. Last question for you then. Like, when you're an old man and you're my age and
Yeah.
you're going to tell your kids or grandkids about this experience,
Yeah.
what are you going to say?
Gosh.
If you're telling your kids, your grandkids, what you did when you were 7, 8, and 9.
I tell them that me and my dad went out in this tiny little car that got 30 miles a gallon, and we went in all 50 states.
Had the best time of your life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And when I'm older, I'm gonna try to do something like that with my kids.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think you guys have a great tradition that you started. Again, you've got my number. Don't hesitate to reach out if I could help at all.
Heck yeah.
Anytime.
Thank you.
But anyway, guys, thanks for checking out the Midweek Podcast presented by Factory Backing. And we'll see you next time.